This next example is going to ask us to determine whether lines are going to be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. We're still going to find slope, but we have to understand the relationship between our slopes in order to determine whether our lines will be parallel, perpendicular, or neither. If I have parallel lines, those lines are never going to intersect. So the slope of those lines are going to be exactly the same. Now for perpendicular, if I have perpendicular lines, they're going to form 90-degree angles. So the slopes, the relationship between these, you're going to hear me say the word opposite reciprocal. In other words, if I tell you that one of the lines has a slope of, let's say, 2/3, the slope of a perpendicular line is going to be the opposite sign. So if I start with a positive, it's going to become negative. And then reciprocal, meaning I'm going to flip the fraction. So in other words, instead of 2/3, I'm going to have 3/2. Those two slopes are going to be perpendicular. Okay, so using those ideas, I want to do these two examples. It says determine whether A, B, and C, D are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So I want to find the slope of AB and CD. I'm going to start with AB first. I'm going to go -5. I'm using this point and this point. So I'm going to go -5 minus 1 over -1 minus 1. Again, I'm just using the slope formula, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'll go ahead and simplify this. So on top I've got -6 over -2, which simplifies to 3 or 3 over 1. I'm going to keep it as 3 over 1 for now. Next we'll do CD, so I'm going to use these 2 points. We're going to have, I'll go ahead and I'll start with 2 this time. So I'm going to go 2 minus 1 over 3 minus 6. 2 minus 1, well that's going to be a value of 1. And 3 minus 6, that's going to be a -3. We're going to look at these two slopes. I have a positive 3 over 1, and I have a -1/3. These slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other, so these lines are going to be perpendicular. Okay, I've got one more that I'd like to show you. It's the same thing. We're going to find the slopes of AB and CD again. So I have AB. We'll go ahead and we'll start with 6. So we'll go 6 minus 2 over 3 minus -9. 6 minus 2, that will get us 4 over, that's really plus on the bottom, so 3 plus 9, that's going to get me 12, which will simplify to 1/3. We'll do the same thing with line CD. We'll go 4 minus 3 over 5 minus 2, which simplifies to 1/3. These slopes are actually the same. They're exactly the same. If my slopes are exactly the same, then my lines are going to be parallel. And hopefully that will help you see the relationship between parallel and perpendicular lines.